Good afternoon. Our weather this week is pretty much one day on, one day off with spells of wet and windy weather. So today we've got a lot of sunshine to be found across the UK, light winds and a quiet story. And our satellite reflects that quite nicely. A bit more cloud to the south that's continuing to dissolve. It's been quite a slow start in terms of the sunshine to the southwest, but brighter here certainly through the afternoon into the evening. Some showers continuing to affect Scotland, a few possible across northern England, one or two for the North Midlands. Very unlikely, but just an outside possibility of the odd one across eastern England through the afternoon. Top temperatures, a little subdued for the time of year, the temperatures actually. We're looking at the high teens to the low 20s. So Tuesday moves on into Wednesday and low pressure starts to move in from the west. As we go into the small hours of Wednesday, some very wet weather for the southwest of England and Wales. But as a consequence of that cloud and the strengthening wind, a much milder night here. Clearer skies towards the north and east, a cooler start certainly to Wednesday, maybe just 3 or 4 degrees in eastern Scotland. Then through Wednesday daytime, that rain ploughs on across England and Wales. Chance of some heavy thundery downpours through the Midlands into East Anglia through the afternoon and on into the evening. And then some wetter weather later in the day as this front pushes across Northern Ireland and Scotland through the evening. By Thursday, that little lot is pushing away to the east. Here's our day off, if you like. There will perhaps be a few showers around, but a much drier day on the whole and with much lighter winds. Top temperatures on Thursday, quite similar to today. We're talking about the high teens to the low 20s. A day off, though, can only mean by Friday, low pressure is back again. This time, though, the low is keen to sit to the northwest of the UK on into the weekend, pushing further bands of rain across us, and the winds will be strong as well. Friday, quite possibly the windiest day of the week with gust and exposure, 40, 45, 50 miles per hour, potentially damaging winds, and some of this rain is going to be really intense and heavy. It might not reach eastern areas until later in the day. We should see something a little bit brighter coming into the west as the day draws to a close. But overall, a distinctly unsummer-like scene on Friday, and as for the weekend, it looks very changeable indeed. The wettest day probably Saturday, Sunday potentially very windy.